Well, welcome, welcome, welcome to Night School. I am your host, Latanya Washington. Excited to be with you all this afternoon with my special guest, Linda Jones Edwards of Eat, Pray, and Shop Women's Network. And it is exactly what it means. They eat together, they pray together, and they shop together. And so I'm so excited that she is with me this afternoon. We are going to be talking about how to recognize true friendships. So it's a conversation that is so necessary, Linda. So I'm ready to talk about this. You ready?
I'm ready too.
Well, we are here because we get to talk about how to recognize true friendships. Because I always say, and I love Kermie the Frog, Linda. I always say, as he says, it's not easy being green.
You
And a
better
lot of
know it.
you know it. And so a lot of times when it comes to authentic connections and relationships, it's not all that easy in regards to that. But we wanted to talk to the people in regards to looking at the three pillars of true friendship. Because as far as I'm concerned, Linda, if one is missing, I cannot truly say if it is true friendship.
Mhm.
Shed a little bit of light on what you would say, or your thoughts on true friendship.
You know what? I have been fortunate enough to be blessed with friends that have been my friends since the age of, oh my God, since fifth grade.
Mhm.
I have still that is my best friend. And me and her, we met when I was in fifth grade. I think it was actually because we met at Emerson and Compton,
Mhm.
and she was at Roosevelt, and we've been friends ever since. My mother's going to marry her dad, so we actually were going to be sisters. When they didn't work out, we remained sisters, right? She is my BFF. I tell her all my dirt, and I have never leaked her secrets, and she's never leaked mine. One of the things about friendship that you have to know is you have to have a person who will keep your secrets. They have to be
Mm,
loyal to you.
that's
It's,
good.
you can't get mad because even when we didn't talk, I never heard anything back about
Yeah,
what I've done. Do you
yeah,
understand what I'm saying to you?
yeah,
It's really important that a person is a gatekeeper of your secrets
yeah,
because
yeah.
it just shows me that you care about me, more than you care about a argument.
Yeah, that's good because I'm glad you brought that part up. Because a lot of times, and especially I believe too, Linda, as people become older, it's hard to truly trust people, which is one of the pillars. It's hard to trust people because so many people have been slapped across the face, so many people have been hurt. Whether it is going through divorce, whatever it is. And so, therefore, I believe the older you become, it's harder for people to really develop true friendship. So let's talk a little bit about that trust because you brought that up a bit.
Yeah.
So when it comes to true friendship and we talk about that trust factor, can you elaborate on that just a little bit more when it comes to trust? Because a lot of people don't even know what trust means.
You know, I'm so glad you said that because the I have some friends. We've been friends since sixth grade.
Mhm.
It's a couple of us. It's a handful of people that I know. We've been friends. Like I said, I have my fourth and fifth grade buddy, and she's my BFF. Then I have my girls I met when I was in sixth grade, which is not so far off, right? These girls, young adults, women are still in my life. They are active. We go out to have cocktails. We pray together. We cry together. It's just one of the things. But one of the things I want to say about trust is you have to earn it. A lot of people these days, we give it away like we're giving away free cheese and butter. And that's not something you have to do. You have to be able to earn my trust, my respect, because the whole thing is the Bible talks about guard your heart. And one of the things about your heart is when you let people in, they get into your heart,
Yeah.
right? And it's hard to shake somebody when they're in your heart.
Mhm.
You can, in your head, you can like kind of let it go. I can forget about it and let them go. But
Mhm.
when somebody gets into your spirit, it's one thing that friendship is the people that you're not born into their family. They chose you and you chose them. So
Mhm.
when we put this thing together called friendship slash sisterhood, I got to be able to trust you. I got to be able to turn my back and sleep around you and bring my man around you, bring my kids around you. The girls I'm talking about, they'll pull up on my kids, they'll pull up on my husband, they'll pull up on they will pull up and take care of business. I told my husband before he was my husband, I said there are 5 women in my life that can spend the night at my house. When we have a party and they can't drive home, they can stay. Some other ones I'll be paying for their Uber. You understand what I'm saying to you? Because they earn my trust. I don't have to worry about him. I ain't got to worry about my kids. I ain't got to worry about my purse. I don't have to worry about jealousy, envy, or strife because they have already proven to me that it's not about where you live, your purse, your car, your husband, your lack of. I'm loving you for you. They come visit me in a shoebox.
In
They
a
have
shoebox.
earned they've earned my respect. They've earned my love. They've earned my trust. And there's nothing that I will not do for these ladies. And
Right.
that's real talk.
And so therefore you feel comfortable telling them anything. I don't care what's going on with your life. And I think that's one of the subjects, one of the pillars, being able to trust, like you said, get the respect.
Yeah.
Trust is earned. And so too, I had to learn as well, Linda, even growing up, because I tell everybody my best friend is a dude.
Yeah.
And we've been knowing each other, I would say, for almost, it's been like 25 years. And if ever I need him, he's there. Whenever he needs me, I'm there. It's just like it's like very, very authentic. And even I
Yeah.
have a few girlfriends. But you know what? One thing that I realized, even in life and growing up, is that I really, really understood true friendship when you feel comfortable sharing everything. And then two, even when you don't speak often, that person is still there, because we get busy in life too. And we don't and I'm gonna tell you one thing, and you talk about this, we will fight, but
Yes,
we
we will.
always come back together. Let's talk
Yes,
about
we
that,
do.
because some
You
folks
know what?
get into arguments and they are done.
You know what? I have a friend, my friends, most of my friends that are my friends, we got in an argument and didn't speak for years. We did not speak for years, right? But
Mhm.
guess what? When we did reconnect, because God put them in my life, those
Right.
are my girls. And I'm gonna tell you something, I'm not letting no devil in hell take away what God has given me. And that's including my family and that's including my friendships.
Yeah.
Some things, like you said, some people come in your life for a season.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of people gonna come in your life, they're gonna hang around for a little while, they're gonna pick around, they're gonna pick you apart, tell you you good, but you mostly bad. The people that I know who are my friends, they tell me, knock it off. They tell me the truth. They tell me when I call them and I say, I'm going through this, they said, what did you do? And I'm like, wait, hold up now. It's we on my side. No, 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 because we have to be fair.
Right.
And one thing about a true friend, a friend who has your back, they'll let you know. I'm gonna tell you when you're wrong because you don't need a like a celebrity. The problem with celebrities and real people, because there are people in the corner saying you always right, you always right, everything you're doing is right. That's not healthy. You have to
Right.
have somebody in your life to tell you, you know what, good evening. They gotta tell you when you're wrong. They gotta tell you when when you don't smell good, when you don't look good, when you ain't acting straight up, when you being shicey and shady. They gotta tell you those things because you know what? A real friend, that's what's gonna have your back. And then you know what? And as a person, when someone tells me that I'm doing something wrong, guess what happens to me? I perk up and be like, okay, so they really want to be in my life because they're not being a yes person. You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah. And that's where that trust factor comes in, and you're okay with it, because we need,
Yeah,
I think, as Brandy said, you hold on to those true friends. And that's
you
real talk.
do.
Because I still remember too, my pastor, Bishop Blake, said to us, he said, if you got one or two good friends, you doing real good.
You
You're doing
do. You
real
bless.
good. You bless.
Yeah.
And so now let's talk about the next pillar, because we were talking about three pillars. So now we've talked about the trust factor. And now
Mhm.
we want to talk about the acceptance factor, because people
Oh, I
come in
love
with
this part.
conditions. Come on, Linda.
Okay, so this is the one thing I talk to everybody about. The one thing that I've learned from my father, see, I wasn't raised with him. I wasn't raised with my dad, right? I was raised
Mm,
with my mother. But one of the things I had to learn through my father was acceptance, right? So
mm.
I had to accept him because he was not my husband, he was my father.
Wow.
So my mother's story is not my story.
Yeah.
I was the first of his children, right? It
Mm,
was three of us. And he called me number one to the day he died. You understand
mm,
what I'm saying to you?
right.
So he told me, I'm going to tell you some things, right? And what he did was he was honest with me.
Yeah.
He told me the truth and he let me know this is who I am. So you have to take me for who I am. And one of the things I said to myself, me and God. And I said that I'm mad at him because I love him so much because I miss him,
Yeah.
right? But I had to learn how to accept him for who he is, not what I can make him to be, not who I can carve him out to be, not some figment of imagination in my mind of who the best dad is. I had to accept him. He was not the smartest man, but guess what? He was a street dude who he knew them streets. So he educated me on those streets. He wasn't the best of this, but he was a hard worker, right? So I had to accept my dad. And once I learned to accept my dad in my 20s,
Yeah.
everybody else was easy. Because
Right.
guess what I learned? I had one girlfriend, she'd take your man. She would. So me and her had a time and she was beautiful. I mean, when everybody seen her, they was like, whoa, she turned them heads. You hear what I'm saying to you? But what me and her had a conversation about was this. I love you for who you are.
Yeah.
But please, let's not cross those lines,
Right.
right? And so what I learned to do with her is when my man was around, she wasn't around. But
Mm-mm.
me and her shop, we ate lunch, we did brunch, we did shopping, we kikied together because that's what me and her got down in.
Right.
And we didn't cross over to the other thing. I have girlfriends who I never had that issue with. They
Yeah.
never look at your man sideways. They was around my family.
Right.
But you have to put people in their categories because
That's right.
everybody don't deserve the same respect.
Mm-mm.
You
Mm-mm.
can't let everybody come to me my house.
You
You
can't
can't
do
let
it.
everybody come to Nana house.
Right.
Everybody can't come to your table. You have to be selective on that because
Right.
when you're growing friendships,
Yeah.
one of the things you have to set in front of you before you get deep into it is some boundaries.
You got to set some boundaries. And you know what? And I always tell people, you know what, even, one time being married, previously, and I even tell my married friends, I'm like, okay, let's not talk. Is your husband home? I always ask that question because even though we are good friends, it's still certain things should be sacred. And
Yes.
so, because I still remember the days, and I had a person, and they would call me every day, and I said, okay, I gotta go, my husband, and they would just keep on talking. So, as you
Mm.
said, they crossed the boundaries and really, really didn't care. But even as you were talking about acceptance, and I'm so glad. Hey, Ramona. Hey, Brandon. Everyone else. I see you guys up in here leaving comments. Even when it comes to acceptance, they come without condition. They're,
Yes.
they are unconditional. And that's
Hmm.
another one of the pillars, as you were saying, even though you're talking about your dad, you have to accept people for who they are.
Yeah.
And that's the authenticity of it all. A lot of times we go, even people going into relationships, boyfriend and girlfriend, it's like,
Hmm.
okay, well, I'm gonna put this up. If you cross this, okay, we through. If this and that, I mean, we put too many conditions on things, and therefore people really, really don't even have the opportunity to really, really develop true relationships if they are meant to be, because some of them you need to be cutting straight from the head.
You do. So listen to this. So I am not one of those kind of people who likes to walk on eggshells when it comes to friendships.
Yeah.
We're either going to be in friendships or we're not going to be in
Mhm.
friendships. And even when we're starting a sisterhood into a friendship,
Yeah.
we set healthy boundaries, like Brandy was saying, healthy
Yeah.
boundaries. It's really, really good. And you don't have to say, Latanya, here's my list of things you cannot do to me. That's
Mhm.
not happen. But what I've learned in friendship is when offenses come, you
Mm.
have to be grown enough, woman enough, and own your smack, right?
Own it.
And you got to say, I apologize for offending you. And if
Right.
somebody offends you, you have to say, honey, can I talk to you? Because that kind of stuff was offensive.
Yeah.
Because what happens in friendships is We let stuff go, give them the side eye. We call our other girlfriend. We talk about them real, real bad. But the person who offended you don't even know they offended you, because you have to say everyone
That's
has different backgrounds. So
yeah.
while I'm on the phone with Keisha, when Trina pissed me off, that's not how that works. You're gonna call Trina, let her
Right.
know, baby girl, that wasn't cool. And the friendship, we're not gonna do it like that.
Mm-mm.
Right? We going if we can't do it like this, we can't be friends. And
Yeah.
you know what happens? People correct themselves,
Mm-hmm.
but they have to know in honesty and in love, that you love them, because people
Yeah.
are used to being rejected. They used to being cussed out.
That's
They
right.
used to being left for dead. They used to being, I'm gonna shun you. They used to all that. But when you grow friendships, honest friendships, because let me tell you what I've learned about me. I am highly flawed. I'm not perfect at all. And I make some real serious mistakes.
Yeah.
And I really have to, and I want someone to give me that olive branch when
Yeah.
I've offended somebody. I want that extension of love. I want to be able to say, I apologize if I
Yeah.
offended you. I want that. So when I don't give that to other people because I'm being, I'm being bougie today, or I'm on one, I got a new purse today, and I want to give you that love
In
and that
my
respect.
purse.
I done bought me a $2,000 purse, and I think that you don't fit my caliber no more because you
Right.
didn't upgrade to your other friend who don't
Right.
speak to you that good. But I'm just saying, we change, and my whole thing is the Bible says
That's
those who show their self friendly will find friends, and
you
I'm
will.
into that. I'm into that. I'm not into that judgment, because let me tell you something about that judgment.
Mm.
When it come down on you, it ain't
Ooh.
nothing nice.
It ain't nothing pretty. And
Mm-mm.
that's key. It's like we cannot go in judging people. We really have to accept people for who they are. I mean, it's a necessity, and I think a lot of times people really and I don't know. We got time to step on this, because a lot of times people go into quote unquote friendships, which a lot of times are just an association, just to climb ladders, just to get up to the next. I need you. I need you. So I'm going to use you. And then when I move up and it looks like you're beneath me, I don't have time to talk to you anymore. Come on. Can we talk on that before we go to pillar
Girl,
number
my
three?
eye is twitching.
Is it twitching?
Girl, my eye like twitching, like, ooh, 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 that was hot. That was hot. It was hot. My eye is twitching. Let me tell you something. Good people who
Mm,
are listening to this podcast, broadcast, newscast, cast. Let me tell you something. The
promote.
same people you step on going up is the same people you meet coming down.
Right.
Because let me tell you, I don't know. I got about 10 colloquialisms and I got 10
Uh-oh.
cliches. You know how Tyler Perry said, and before he even said, he said, your grass will green on the other side to get your water bill. You
Woo-oo.
gotta water that grass to keep that grass green, right?
Well.
I am not, I have met some people, I have met some shady sisters. And I don't
Mm,
mean black, I mean women.
okay.
And they come in your life because they see what you can do. They see what you can bring. They see how you perform, and
Yeah.
they want a piece of that. But what I'm going to tell them in the name of Jesus is
Mm,
what I have is from God. So what you're reaching for is my soul, and you cannot have it because it came at a price, because that's my alabaster box. And what I'm telling you is when I love you because I'm not lukewarm. I'm going to tell you right now, we get along, we learn to love each other, but in the midst of that process, please don't cross me because I will have to cut you, right?
she
So we
said,
don't
wait a
want no
minute.
problems. And we have to pray for you while we band-aid you up. But I don't want no problems from people because I know who I used to be.
Right.
I've come a long way
Right.
from
Right.
cussing people out, fighting in the street, setting it off like I was just crazy
Yeah.
because I was always proven that I was loyal. So I didn't have to do this. But
Right.
because you crossed my loyalty, I was so hurt. I act so
Wow.
bad. And so
Wow.
what I learned to do is the Lord taught me early, protect your heart
Protect your heart.
because
That's
people
Bible.
are people and they're going to make mistakes, Linda. They're
Yeah.
going to offend you on an accident. They're going to do all kind of things because of what they're going through. But you
Yeah.
can't get that stuff personal because if he's your friend, Give them an olive branch.
Give them an olive branch. Okay, Ramona said, I had this conversation yesterday. I mean, girl, it's because it's so real. It's real. And a lot of people are dealing with this stuff because friendships, it's real. And a lot of people get hurt in the process of it because
Yeah,
some people go in with their heart. But the
yeah,
Bible says we have to guard our heart. But when it gets to the place, sometimes you got to let your guard down sometime, and you
yeah,
have to be able to be vulnerable, because that's where the truth comes in. When it comes to the trust factor, when it comes to the acceptance factor, you
yeah.
have to be, you got to know who you're dealing with.
Yes,
And so then when we go to the next one, so now we've talked about the three pillars of true friendship. I ain't just talking about associates, y'all. I'm talking about
right.
true friendships. So now we
Hmm.
talked about the trust factor. You got to be able to trust that individual, which comes with time, some Linda,
Yes,
and
it
then
does.
the acceptance.
Look, you
Being,
got my watch on.
which
I got
having
my watch on for time. You got to trust them with the time.
you got to trust them, girl. Be like, your time is up.
Right,
But
right, right.
like you said, your time. And then the acceptance. You got to accept people for who they are. I don't care if they do trash, whatever they do. You have to accept people for who they are and what they do. And so now we're talking about the third pillar is support. So talk about that for us, Linda.
Let me tell you something. It's one of those things.
What we said, tell them
Amen,
in age.
Jesus. I'm serious, Brandy. But this is the thing. When you support your friend, people always think it's money.
Right.
It's not money, y'all. It's calling people. It's like, like you said, you got your friends back. When they're going through, you block a lot of BS on your friend. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You
Yeah.
step up for your friend,
Yeah.
because sometimes my hands can't hold up. I need somebody to help me hold my
That's
hands up,
right.
because I'm going through it. It gets heavy.
It's
Life gets hard. And it
that's
don't even
right.
matter if you have an awesome prayer life, and you
They
running to
gonna be.
church and you going to church every weekend. Life happens. And when life happens, I don't care how much money you have. It's not about money. It's about what you experience. You can have a death. That has nothing to do with money. You can pay for a funeral, but you still lost your loved one, right? When people lose their children or children go wayward, that's nothing to do with your money. That's got to do with your heart. And sometimes as a friend, all people need is a text, an email, a phone call. I called my friend the other day. I said, I haven't talked to you since November. What's up?
What's
And
up?
she was like, girl. And I'm like, let it rip. Why? Because I'm here for that. Because I need to let her unload on me, because I ain't talked to her in 30 days. So come on, let's talk about this. We talk all the time. But sometimes when life happens, you hit and miss your friends, right?
Yeah.
It don't mean I don't love them. It means
Right.
that I'm busy, you busy, and sometimes we don't talk. But it's
Right.
not because I don't support you and respect
Right.
you. Look, let me tell you something. With this Eat, Pray, and Shop group,
Mm-hmm.
I can't buy everybody's stuff. I will be
Mm-hmm.
broke.
Can't
I'll be
do
in the
it.
poorhouse. I
Can't do
cannot. I cannot. I would love to buy everybody's lipstick, hair stuff, their earrings. They
it.
just
Oh,
$5.
can't
But
do it.
when I had Eat, Pray, and Shop, people can tell you I made very little money. Why? Because
Mhm.
I went around those vendors and bought that stuff back. So you paid me to be there, and I go take that same money and pay it to support you at the venue. Do you know what I'm saying? The least I could do. And I told all of
Exactly.
them, I said, I can't buy from everybody today.
No,
I'm gonna hit
no.
up half of y'all. People who ain't getting no sales, I'm going to their table. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I can
Right.
support you. But my whole thing is just be a friend. Just call
Right.
me. Text me. Send me
Sometimes.
a freaking Christmas card. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Send me a birthday card. Text me.
Exactly. Exactly. I know. Okay, Ramona, we're gonna do this on Clubhouse. I hear you, girl. I hear you, girl. And so and you know what? I'm so glad we're talking about this, Linda, because a lot of people are trying to figure out who their friends are. But we're literally showing you the pillars of true friendship. If they can't support you, if you can't trust them, if they do not accept you for who you are, and then sometimes, Linda, I think what happens is we have to look at ourselves, because even when it comes to that acceptance factor, you have to feel comfortable enough to share your truth.
Yeah.
A lot of times, I know, like I said, me and my best friend, we just put it all on the table. It's everything is out on
It's
the table.
raw. Yeah.
And, I mean, raw. And,
Yeah.
and it's a good thing, because you have that individual, or you have those individuals who you can get raw with. What do you say to those people, Linda, who feel that they talk to someone all the time, but they cannot get raw with them? What do you think is happening?
It's not your friend.
Oh,
Let me tell you this. If you can't talk to a person who's been in your life for years and
wow.
you can't let your hair down with them. You can't put take your glasses off and just unwind. You can't have a glass of wine in front of them without offending them. You
Hmm.
can't say, oops, I said a cuss word. I apologize. If you can't be yourself, because we all slip up, we all say stuff, we all do stuff, it's impossible. I cannot, because let me tell you, I'm gonna tell you a little secret.
Hmm.
And this is real talk. I've experienced this not one, two, three, four, five times. I experienced it a lot in my life
Mm.
over the course of years. And I noticed this. When I meet people, I am myself.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm too loud, sometimes I talk too much, sometimes I say stuff that's crazy. But inside of all that, I'm here for you.
That's right.
You
That's
have my undivided attention. If there's something that you need from me, I will go out of my way to make sure. I told my husband, the reason why our marriage is happy because I have girlfriends who support me. I
hmm
talk to them, they listen, and they direct me back to God and to my family, right? Because sometimes in our head, we want to run and hide because it gets too hard. But my support system says, no, that's not how you do that.
right.
You gotta buckle down. You gotta grow up. You gotta face the fact. And like I said, you gotta own your mess in it. It's not just him, it's you too. It takes two to mess a relationship up, right? And
That's right.
it's the same for relationship and sisterhood.
Yeah.
When a person says something to you and it's offensive, and you go back and tell 10 other people,
Mm.
and they hear it from a third party, it's gonna be real jacked up.
It ain't gonna be
It's
pretty.
not gonna be pretty. And the whole thing is building trust, building authentic trust. They would say, if I was your true friend, why wouldn't you come to me first? Give me the benefit of the
First.
doubt. Give me the non-judgmental benefit of the doubt to let me know if I've offended you, I can make it better. I can
Right.
make it right. But if we're not true friends, the way you applied yourself, it lets me know who you are.
That's a problem. That is the, and I'm glad you brought that up because that is a problem, and it's not true friendship. Because even with true friendships, Linda, I think we want to protect one another. We
We
don't want to
do.
see each other hurt. If
Nope.
my last dime, if you ain't got it, I'm about to give it to you because
Yeah.
I know you're gonna give it. If I'm hurting or if I
Yeah.
need something, you're gonna give it to me. And
That's
so
right.
these are areas in which we can judge true friendships. And so we want to let everybody know, everybody who comes into our lives, as Ramona said, 2020 has exposed so many friendships
Yes, it
that are
has,
not
Miss
true.
Ramona.
It did, honey. It did. And the crazy part about it, the higher you start to climb up that ladder, no, okay, that's another subject. It get real. It get thick.
Shady.
I mean, well, thin. It like it.
I'm like,
Hello,
hello, hello,
anybody?
hello, hello. Yeah.
Hello,
Echoing.
nobody's here. And so it is that way. But you know what? A lot of times God wants us in that space because
Yes.
a lot of times we can have too many people around that we don't take out time to have a discussion with him. And as I said, he's a jealous God. But when you got those true friends, they be like, okay, she need her space. And you could tell them, girl, I can't talk to you till next week. I got things I need to do. Come on, Linda.
Well, let me tell you this. I know this. It's so many people out here in these Facebook streets and these Instagram streets and these social media streets, and they're not real. And the
No.
thing is, like I said to you earlier,
Yeah.
people see your shine, they
Yeah.
see your light. And
Yeah.
so many people want a piece of it. They
Mm.
just want a piece of it. And so they'll do anything to get next to your light,
Yeah.
right? But they
Yeah.
don't realize it's your gift.
It's your
You can't
gift.
take my gift. My gift comes from God. You can't have my
Right.
gift.
Right. Right.
People say, how did I was talking to a producer the other day with my mom for
Yeah.
her show. And he was like, how do you talk and not have no to say, you don't say, but I said, because he said, and I was like, I don't know. He said, I'm gonna tell you why. It's your gift.
Right.
And so guess what I do? I own my gift.
Right.
And guess what? If a person can't handle me at 100%, I can't help that. I can't water myself down to be in your presence. I
Right.
can't water myself down or shrink myself to be with your friend. If you can't handle all this boldness and all this yumminess and all this craziness, then we can be associates in passing. We can
Right.
have lunch and laugh and kiki. And when I get in my car, I'm not calling you ever.
Can't talk to you.
I say ever. I mean
You
ever.
better
I'm
call
not calling
Tyrone.
you.
Call
Yeah,
Tyrone. Don't call me.
because I just want people in my life who
Right.
can embrace me.
That's
And I'm
right.
not saying everybody's cup of tea or everybody's spoonful. I'm not everybody's spoonful of everything.
Right.
But one thing I can say is when I give you what I have, it's not because I have any ulterior motive behind it. I'm
Right.
not looking for people to do stuff for me, and I'm working with you because I need you
Take.
to be on your show.
Right.
I don't need that.
Right. Take. And you have a lot of people that are takers. And so this is how we understand what true friendship is. And as Ramona said, people want a piece, but they don't want to go through the process, because it is a process even through a lot of things that we go through, and people do not understand, because a lot of times, Linda, people will see me and like, oh my God, you're always so busy and you're doing this and I want to do this and I want to get close to you. And I'm like, but you really don't know the story and you really don't understand. I'm busy to a degree. I'm not always busy. And so we find time for what we want to find time for. And so, but my true friends know my true friends know she ain't busy all the time. She's not busy all the time, and I can call her at any time. But the people that are sit on the outside, and I always call it the inner sanctum and the outer sanctum, Linda,
Yeah.
because you have to know who is in your corner or who's in your circle that have your back, and that's part of the support.
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna say this as quick as I can. You better pray for discernment.
Mm,
Period. I don't care if it's in-laws, outlaws, girlfriend, guy. You better pray for discernment. Because
discernment.
if you ever have your head down praying and you look up and someone's looking right at you, it's like a little exposure right there.
Mm.
Because if we're all praying for the same thing, why you focus on me? And why do
Uh-oh.
we make eye contact?
Oh,
Right? So it's like you have to not be afraid to
yeah.
witness a sign or a flag. You some flash by real quick. You're like, what's that? A sign and a flag. A sign is God saying you better be a watchful eye, because he said watch and pray. He didn't say close your eyes. He said
You better
watch
watch.
and pray.
Right.
Right? And you can't. And some of us, we get so, our
Mm.
naivety keeps us in a rut because we're so loyal to the wrong people. And when the right ones come, we so judgmental. Wait a minute, it's not that person's fault. You gave all your trust to a fool. That's not their fault.
That's not your
The
fault.
thing
Right.
is, there was sign after sign after sign, but we ignored them because we wanted to be a part of their life.
Right.
I have people in my life that I know that they are no good to hang
Mm.
around with.
Right.
But guess what? I don't hang around them, but I
Right.
do know them. We get
Exactly.
together, we kiki, whatever, but it's not
Right.
regular. And
Right.
sometimes it's a group thing. It's not me and them, it's a group thing, and they happen to be in the
Right.
group,
Right.
right? But I'm not calling you on a one-on-one trying to have that with you because I already know you look at me funny. Because
Right.
because guess what happens? I can
Right.
feel you in my spirit.
You feel it.
I can feel when we had our conversation, the
Yeah.
women there were genuine. They
Yeah.
wanted to be
Yeah.
there.
Right.
But it was people I could not invite. Why? Because of that side eye.
Mm.
Because
Mm.
you trying to get notoriety, you trying to get
Mhm.
connections with all the people. Once you can do some shady stuff on the side,
Right.
we're not doing
You
that.
say not today, not today.
Not today, Satan.
And
We
I'm
we
I'm glad you brought that up, because we have to be able to use discernment. And if you don't have discernment, ask God for it. Because for many of us, and many of you who are watching this even now, I see you all in this room. God is up leveling us up, all of us up to another place. And therefore, we have to be very, very cognizant of who's in our circle, who's around, and what our next assignment is. And another thing before we close, Linda, because we can go all night, you have to know who your assignment is. And
Mhm.
your assignment is not always a friend.
Everybody.
It's not everybody, but you're supposed to know, okay, well, I have to help pull them up. But if you're pulling some folk up, that don't mean that they're your true friend. It's
Mm-hmm.
just an assignment in which you are there in their life to help them come up higher. So then they then can help the next person. That is what we are called to do. But those true friends will support you. They are in that circle, there to be by your side for whatever you need.
The wheat grows up with the tear.
That's what it say.
The wheat grows up with the tear. So
Yeah.
when you have sisterhood, everybody growing together, and they say, how do you know the difference? Because the wheat is proud. It stands up strong, but the tear is kind of a little bent over, a little
Mm,
humble with it. You know what I'm saying? But my whole thing is this: when you don't have to look so far.
mm,
Because when I lay on my bed sometime at night, minding my own business over there,
yeah.
just chilling, watching a little Instagram, little TV, little something, little
Right.
show, the
Right.
Lord starts talking to me in that
Right.
still small voice, and He'll say, "Watch this person.
Right.
Don't say that. Don't call them.
Yeah.
Don't connect with them." There's one person that's pretty popular that
Mm,
I know, and and the Lord was like, "Mm-mm,
mm-mm.
no,
Don't
she not
do it.
for you. No, she not for you." Uh-uh.
Right.
And I said,
Right.
and it was so funny because before he told me that, I told my husband, I want no parts of that ever.
Mm.
And I
Yeah.
don't care
Yeah.
what it looked like.
It
Because
don't
I
matter.
know, because I'm gonna tell you right now, I'd rather be in the party of two than a party of 20 and 19 got a side eye.
There it
I'd
is.
rather be in a party of two, this me and a strong friend, rolling it out together. We rolling this boat. We trying to get to safety together. But
Yeah.
I'm not trying to have 20 people and I'm 19 and I'm 20 and I got 19 side eyes. I ain't trying to have
Mm-mm.
that.
That ain't
It's
gonna
too
work.
much work. It's too
Right.
much work. And if you want what I have, then we're not, you can't look. It's one thing when you say, I like your hair color, I like your glasses. That's
Right.
admiring your style. But
Right.
you can't want what I have
Mm-mm.
because that means you want my life and you don't even know what it takes to be me.
Right.
Now
And
that's
that's
a
a lot of
whole other
times
conversation. You
that's
don't know
real.
what it takes to be me. You don't know what I cry about. You don't know my uprisings. Girl, don't have me up in here cutting up
Okay,
because
so
I'm gonna tell you right now.
she already cutting up. She already cutting up.
I'm
Uh-huh.
just
Okay,
saying
you what Brandy say you
you
can
can
be
be
popular
popular
and
and
broke.
broken.
Up, up,
Yes, you can.
up,
Yes,
up.
you can.
And Ramona says, say that. I mean, we did started a preaching. Okay, Ramona, we going on Clubhouse. We going on Clubhouse and we're gonna tear it up. But to see, I'm so glad, Linda. And I know we got to close this out. I told y'all we
Okay.
could be here all afternoon.
Okay.
We might
Let's
have
get
to
a
do a
whole number.
part
We're gonna get
two.
40. We'll close it at 40. Whole
We-
number.
yeah, by the time we get done, that's what this gonna be.
Right.
But Linda, give me your last remarks for this afternoon because we're talking about true friendships and we want people to understand what true friendship looks like. We talked about the pillars: acceptance, the trust, support. But close us out as we conclude on what true friendship is and how to recognize what it is.
I'm gonna tell you a couple of things real quick. I'm gonna go as fast as I possibly can. Let me tell you something. Sometimes we have girls, women, and girls.
Yeah.
They have to look alike.
Mm.
It's a crew that looks alike. They kind of walk alike, talk alike, sound alike. They say the
Y'all
same
know
things.
that. That's real.
That little crew
That's
that
real.
look alike. They look like sisters, but they're
Yes,
all just friends, right?
that's right.
Sometimes those are the most unhealthy,
Yeah.
toxic relationships
Yeah.
I've ever seen in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes your friend don't look like you. Like you
Mm-hmm.
said, your friend's male, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes your friend don't talk like you.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have your upbringing. They
Mm-hmm.
don't have
That's right.
your knowledge. They don't have degrees like you.
That's
But
right.
one thing a friend does have is your back and your heart.
Uh-oh.
And when I'm telling you that my friend, I said I posted I was sick, I can't tell you how many DMs and phone calls I got. I feel like Ferris Bueller.
Wow.
I was sick for that time. I was sick and I was off Facebook.
Yeah.
Right. I'm locked out right now. I can't get on there. But when I was sick and I wasn't on Facebook, my friends called me. I'm coming to your house. If you
Yeah.
don't call me back, I'm coming to your house. And I'm gonna tell you this. It made my heart
Yeah.
sing because it let me know
That's
in
right.
spite of what I'm going through, in spite of how much money I have in my pocket or
Yeah.
don't have, my friends are my friends.
They're
And
there.
every one of those girls I told you about, they hit me up. I'm on my way from work. What you need? And I'm
Right.
like, I said, I'm good. in every aspect. But
That's
they
it.
had to make sure, because that's how friendship shows up. It's not about male or female. It's not about people looking like you and having your
No,
same demeanor and your same conversation, because sometimes you need somebody to break the conversation
that's
to
right.
put you in right standings,
That's
because
real.
sometimes we all look alike and we're saying all the wrong stupid things. But when somebody else comes in and says, girlfriend, sister, baby girl, ma, that's not right. You gotta let them people speak into your life, because what happens is that friend who don't look like you brings growth.
That's
It
right.
brings
That's real.
growth.
They
And
bring
it brings
growth.
something out of you, because you know
Yeah.
you looking like, I ain't expect you to be my friend, but we tight like that. But the thing
Mhm.
is, it brings out something in you that's mature,
Yeah.
that's respectful, that's
Yeah.
responding.
Right.
But all that, what I'm gonna tell you what a friend is not, is side eye. They want your life. They walk like you, talk like you, got your, you buy a shirt, they buy a shirt. Your husband look like this, they want to be his friend. Ain't none of my friends my husband's friend too. They my friends. And they're friends through me, through to my husband. But ain't
Right.
nobody gonna be my husband's friend directly. We don't need that problem, right? So I keep it on the straight and narrow, because I
Right.
don't want no problems in my life. I keep my
Right.
husband safe and I keep my friends safe.
That's real
You know what
talk.
I'm saying?
That's real talk. And there y'all have it on this here afternoon. We are talking about how to recognize true friendships, a conversation that needs to be happening in everybody's circle. I would say every quarter, because sometimes you need to go back and evaluate and see, is this healthy? Is this toxic? Am I receiving support? Are people accepting me for who I am? Do I feel free enough to tell my stuff without you judging me? And can I trust you? I mean, this was good, Linda. Thank
I'm
you
so
so
happy to
much.
be here. Thank you for having me on your show. I love your platform. Thank
It's
you. And you know, I was at the mall right now shopping. I had to leave the mall because I was so excited to come on this show. So I am grateful. I am grateful.
That's it. I mean, it's so good, and I am so glad that you were here this afternoon and you took out the time out of your schedule, because I know you are out and about today. I'm
Girl.
excited, and for you all that are here, I am so excited. We are glad that you all were part of our conversation. You all that are here that didn't say anything, we are excited that you are here, and for you all who will be watching this replay later, glean from what we are telling you, because a lot of times people have a hard time trying to recognize what true friendship looks like. And if you cannot be vulnerable enough, if you feel that inkling that trust factor is not there, and if you are not receiving support, that is not true friendship. That is simply an association. And what you can do, if you are seeking true friendship, ask God to send you someone in your path that you can develop a true friendship with, because we need this help. We need the support. But first, those who have friends must what, Linda?
Show themselves friendly first.
You got to show yourself friendly. So thank you guys once again for being a part of Night School. We'll see you again next week. But we want to make sure that you all have a happy Christmas. Stay
Mhm.
safe. I don't care if you're in the house by yourself. Enjoy your Christmas. Eat you some bonbons, whatever you want to do.
That's
This is
right.
your world, and we just squirrels trying to get a nut. So
You know
thank
what
you
I'm
guys.
saying?
Thank you guys so much for being here. God bless. Have a happy, happy holiday, and we'll see you before the new year. God bless.